Hi guys, this is Aaron again, and this is my Week 3 Introduction to Music Production peer review assignment. This week I will be reviewing the implementation and use of a submix in Ableton Live 8, so bear with me and I'll try to be as concise as possible without wasting any time. Before we begin, make sure that when you open your Ableton Live project that you have all the dialogues enabled over here on the right for sends, returns, and in-out. Those will come in handy as you're, routing your audio. Um, First, we have 3 tracks here that I set up in advance. You can use whatever, but for this demonstration, I have 1 kick, 1 snare, and 1 bass line. I'm going to go ahead and name them accordingly. Kick, snare, bass line. And in Ableton, there are 2 sends that are inserted by default. If you want to add more or if you need more later on, all you have to do, the same way as adding any other kind of track, is to right click here in the session area and choose insert return track, and it will add another one. For right now, I only need the one. And I'll go ahead and label that to cover for the drum reverb. I'll just call it drums. So that's return A. So what I want to do is I want to come over to my kick and my snare, and I want to route those to the drums, where I'm going to be putting my reverb in a minute or two. So what I do is I come over here and I see that I've got sends here, which I've disabled because I've already took the liberty of pre-configuring the volume so it doesn't come out all shitty. But this will be set to max by default. I'm sorry, it'll be set all the way down by default. Then you turn it up as you need. But yeah, like this. Once you've enabled your sends, if they're not enabled, and set up the proper sends to where you want it, I've got my kick and my snare both going to A. B is not being used at this time. I could go ahead and disable it if I wanted. And I'm not sending the bass line to A because I don't want that to be part of this. You can come over here and click on this. This will select the submix here, and you can go ahead and apply effects, which you'll find under the live device browser, audio effects. You can come in here, and for this we're going to be using reverb, and just drop it down, or you can attach it in that manner as well. And in here we want to have dry wet maxed out to 100% for the sake of what'll happen is if this isn't 100%, you'll also feed through, as he explained in the lesson, you'll feed through the original sound as well, and what'll happen is you'll get a volume boost, and it's kind of undesired, especially if you've already EQ'd the original sound, and then you're going to apply this, and then it's going to pump through more than you want, and you'll redline it. So once you've set that to 100%, you can go ahead and mess with the different settings to your liking. I'm just going to go with what's there. That's pumping to A, that's pumping to A. Let's go ahead and enable A as well. That's going to the master. You could reroute this to another send, have different effects and different things. Like if you wanted to apply an effect to the whole track after you've performed the effect that you're doing just to the drums, you could do that by rerouting the send A to another send B or whatever, and applying those effects there, and then have that pump out to the master. But by default, we'll just be going out to the master here. But this is where you would change it if you wanted to route it for like a monitoring return. These are both post. It's fine. Yeah, looks good. Let's go ahead and play it out, see how it sounds. Alright, now let's go ahead and confirm that I do have these 2 pumping in through here. Let's do sends only. can't really hear it right now, but if I were to do just sends only, you can hear just the actual reverb. Let me go ahead and mute this. You can kind of hear it in the background, but probably not from your end. But yeah, this is just an example of what you want coming through the send channel, because you're going to have the original audio coming through the original track. So let's go ahead and put these back. And that's pretty much all you do to configure that. So in essence, Ableton Live is pretty simple about how it does its sends, but it can be a little confusing if you're trying to reroute it, multiple times. Just keep track by renaming all your tracks or recoloring or whatever does it for you, grouping them. You can group them by selecting and group tracks, stuff like that. Whatever you need to do to keep track of where you're sending things. Proper organization will get you far, but it's all pretty easy in Live. So thank you for watching. I hope this was informative in some way, and I look forward to not being over 5 minutes, hopefully.